the journey of getting to know yourself is really what Ayurveda calls us to do in order to begin to see that although we are all unique, none of us have the same combination of, of energetics in us. Not one. Just like any single snowflake is not the same as any other. At the same time, we're all bathing in the same lake, right? It's just we're all one. And so to keep this at the forefront of our attention as we go about our dynamic lives is really what's behind the the call to live in greater ease, in greater harmony with what our well-being really is all about. How does that work in our day-to-day lives? This, let's just say you go to the doctor because you are having problems with high blood pressure and your your breath is very labored, and your doctor says you're overweight. And so now we're looking at overweight as this isolated symptom. We're no longer looking at the particulars of you who happens to be overweight, but it's just excess weight. Solution to excess weight: limit calories, increase level of activity, right? And although Ayurveda may say, indeed, we will work, indeed, for you, it may turn out to be that decreasing calories will be of benefit, increasing level of activities may be of benefit, but it may not be so. It really depends on who you are. Let's say that your digestion is very sluggish. You're not able to process and assimilate that which you're taking in. So maybe your caloric intake is already very low. Maybe you are quite active. In fact, you are overly active. Not just in the physical activities, but you're also very active in your mind. And so you're not sleeping well at night. Your hormones are not functioning properly, and therefore you're holding on to excess weight. So in this case, the advice to simple advice to decrease calories and increase level of activity would not apply. Instead, we are looking at going maybe into a gentle cleanse, provided the body can handle it, to remove what we call amma, excess toxins, so that the body can begin to digest and process food well. And so, and also to work with the physical activity in more mindful ways, so that that anxiety that may be there gets to dissolve a little bit more, that there's less of a tendency towards do, and more of let's give the body what it needs to settle. Let's give this nervous system what it needs to reset. And so in this case, if the digestion is really suffering, it may be something as simple as no longer having ice cold drinks with your food, so that you're not The cold does what to the digestion? It's pulling the blood away from the digestive system when the digestive system needs it the most in order to break down the foods. So that alone may already begin to improve the agni, what we call the digestive fire in the body. Now, it may also be that the person, like as I mentioned, they have a lot of toxicity in the body. So something as simple as a tongue scraper. Okay, now this is not necessarily for the person who is overweight. A tongue scraper is something that everybody should use, just as they use a toothbrush to clean their teeth, because the tongue scraper will give you the opportunity to remove ama, the toxins from your tongue. You take it, and move it down and do it a few times. Little gunk will come out. You wash it. But beyond this, beyond clearing out that ama from the tongue, and by the way, you cannot brush it with your toothbrush, because you're going to deposit that ama, the toxins, even deeper into your tongue. So using the tongue scraper, this is a copper tongue scraper. Copper is wonderful to build ojas, which is the immune system of not just the physical body, but also the immune system of the mind and the emotions. A very useful tool. So in terms of going through the process of scraping the tongue, what else you get to discover is what is causing the digestive issue. First thing in the morning, you have your toothbrush there, you're going to brush your teeth, you have your tongue scraper there. Just before you brush your tongue, just before you scrape the tongue, if you notice that there's a little bit of brown coating on the back of the tongue, that's an indication that you need to bring more oils into your food. An indication that you are doing too much dry foods, like raw veggies, like dry popcorns, crackers, because the brownish tone in the back of the tongue is showing excess vata dosha. Dosha is the energy that spreads, spans, moves. If you look at your tongue and you see a little yellowish, greenish in the center of the tongue, this is an indicator that you need to bring down on the amount of caffeine, alcohol, spicy foods, because they're showing that there's too much heat, pitta dosha in the tongue, the energy that transforms. And so this is, again, a tool for you to recognize, oh, okay, brownish coating. Am I doing too much dry food? Can I add a few oils? Then you notice the next morning the effect that that had. Yellowish, greenish in the center. Okay, can I cool off my diet a little bit? Add more cooling oils such as coconut, more cooling spices such as cumin, coriander, fennel, and then notice the effects of that the next day. Becoming familiar with your digestion by simply observing the tongue first thing in the morning. Now let's say that you have white coating everywhere. So now this is a stronger sign that there's amma, that undigested, unprocessed stuff, but more from the kapha dosha type. And the kapha dosha is the one that stores energy. So then you may look, oh, did I have too much of a creamy diet yesterday? Did I have too much ice cream or too much dairy product in general? And then shift that up in the next day and notice the ama begin to dissolve. Or it could also be a sign that the immunity is going down and there's some need to boost it up. So this is just one little tool for you to begin to bring awareness into what's going on inside of you. And why is that so interesting? Because really everything is happening inside of us first. Right? All these symptoms that we may get, whatever they may be, maybe it's joint pain, maybe it's something else, they really begin in two places, in the mind and in the gut. So, provided we can create an environment where our digestive system is free from symptoms, then we set ourselves up in a really good place to be able to support our systems better and get to understand ourselves better.